Boom! Dumbo 2019. How are you guys doing? It's Nick Peterson, and I am reviewing the movie Dumbo, live action version. I know it's been out for a few weeks. I finally got a chance to check it out earlier today with my mom, and we both enjoyed it overall. So for my reviews, I'm going to be talking about the things that I liked, the things that didn't really work for me, the things that maybe I thought were horrible. I'm not really sure if I have too many of those for this movie. And some other elements that I may have liked or disliked. And as always with most reviewers, especially on YouTube, I'm not judging the movie based on cinematic masterpiece quality-ish. I'm not rating it based on the school of Roger Ebert or Gene Siskel or any of those big-time critics. I'm basing my review just solely on what I thought of the movie. For me, story, connection with the characters, characterization, character arc, acting, all of that is important for me to enjoy a movie. I also enjoy when there's good music in the movie, and especially if the ending is a payoff. It doesn't have to be a good ending, it doesn't have to be a happily ever after, but I have to leave that theater feeling like it was worth the trip I went on. So Dumbo, directed by Tim Burton, music by Danny Elfman. I definitely saw a lot more Danny Elfman, or I should say heard a lot more Danny Elfman in this movie than I saw Tim Burton, but we haven't seen a movie from him in quite a few years. From the top of my head, I want to say maybe Alice in Wonderland. Did he even direct that? I don't know. That's why I said top of my head. It's a scary place up there sometimes. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. I did. I was definitely hooked in first 2/3 of the movie. I enjoyed the characters. There was these two kids that are the main characters. I thought the girl, who I found out later on is Thandie Newton's daughter, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the girl had more of a prominent role, but the boy was fine as well. They were brother and sister. The girl in the movie, I can see her name's Nico Parker, I looked it up. I can see her going on and doing big and wonderful things. I think she has to work on her acting a little bit. I think this was her first movie, so for her first movie, a Disney movie, Dumbo, she did a really good job. But she was maybe just a little too stoic for me, but she still did fine. We had Michael Keaton in there, supporting role, Danny DeVito, who I think stole the show. No pun intended, he is the show master in the movie. The CGI elephant, Dumbo. If Danny DeVito didn't steal the show, then Dumbo did. Maybe they shared some scene stealing here and there. The elephant was great. All the animals were great. Overall, the story was fine. I feel like Dumbo is my least favorite. One of my least favorite of the Disney animated classics. It's very boring to me, the animated feature. If you love it, I'm sorry. I just personally don't. I thought this movie was much better. I am a huge fan of these live action remakes. I really am. I've liked just about every single one of them so far. Even Maleficent, which was one of my least favorite ones, had some great qualities to it. It's a good overall movie. But I feel like Disney is putting all their efforts into their bigger names, like Beauty and the Beast and Lion King coming up. That was some of their smaller features, movies that I'm excited about, like Aladdin coming up, Maleficent, even Cinderella, and now this one, Dumbo. I don't feel like they're getting all the attention that Disney should provide them. So, some of the good things I liked about Dumbo, in addition to what I've already said, the acting was fine overall. I had one problem with that, but I'll get to that later. The story was compelling enough. There was definitely emotion. I loved the Danny Elfman music. As I'm watching that, I'm thinking of Edward Scissorhands and Batman, previous movies that he did scores for. He did a great job with this movie again. He made it a little different, so it wasn't just a copycat of his style, but you can definitely feel Danny Elfman in this. I thought the direction was fine. It wasn't spectacular, but it was fine. Colin Farrell, who plays the dad, one of the main characters, he did a great job. And he wasn't his typical villain or dark character that you don't trust. He was a simple, father figure, or father, not really a father figure. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But he's a simple character in this movie, and he did fine. He did more than fine. He did a great job. I'd like to see him in more family-friendly movies where I can sit back and not be so stressed out because I know he's going to turn on someone. But some of the thing, Danny DeVito, sorry, Danny, I know you're watching. He did a great job. I haven't seen him star or be this prominent in a movie in a long time. Me personally, I have not. And I thought he did great. He was not too over the top, but just the right level of over the top. And this is where my problem sets in with Michael Keaton. I think Michael Keaton is one of the best actors of his generation, of my generation, and of maybe a younger generation if you're watching. He's had great roles, but in this movie, he was told to be over the top, and he was, but he was above being over the top. So Danny DeVito's character was over the top, but was at a perfect balance. There was moments where he showed his true, more human side. And I really liked, again, the Danny DeVito character. I thought he was going to be just this greedy, money-hungry master of ceremonies for the circus, but he wasn't. He was multi-layered. Michael Keaton, one note, one layer, and I wasn't really happy with the performance that he gave. He's done so much better in such smaller films, such as The Founder, where he played the man who founded McDonald's, the corporation at least. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie to check out. I felt like the last third of this movie, the third act, which, man, that third act, it gets so many movies. This third act was just okay. It wasn't horrible. It didn't take me out of it. It was just okay. The acting, again, was fine. It wasn't great. It was fine. But in a movie where you have so many minor characters in a circus, characters that are unique in their own way, even though they're following a formula of circus characters, I want to learn about those characters. I want to care about those characters, and this movie didn't give me a chance to do that. I understand that the movie's about Dumbo, but when these characters are these characters don't kill. When these characters are caring about Dumbo, then that's where the movie kind of disconnects to me, because I didn't care enough about them as a character when they were caring that much about Dumbo. And so that was kind of a flaw for me. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. If you go with your kids, I think they'll enjoy it. My kids didn't have any interest in going to see it. I'm glad my mom went with me, because I'll go to any movie by myself or with friends or with family. I don't care. But I'm glad my mom was there, because there was a lot of kids in that theater, and that would have been a little weird that I was by myself. So I had a good time with my mom watching Dumbo. She enjoyed it. She's an easier critic than I am. But I just wish this Aladdin coming out, the next Disney live-action remake, I know the Genie's got a lot of issues with the CGI of it. I just hope that they hit a home run with Aladdin. Talking about CGI, the CGI in Dumbo is fantastic. It really is. Almost flawless. There's a few scenes of the CGI, I should say, that aren't flawless. There's one that involves a snake. I don't know why they couldn't get a real snake. Not all snakes are venomous. Or why they couldn't get an actor, it's a very small role, who could handle the snake, but they didn't. And then there's a scene, even where kids are running. This is my impression of kids running. Kids are running along a train, trying to chase after it. And you can tell that they were in front of a green screen and there was no train. Again, I'm not sure why everything has to be CGI these days. But other than that, the CGI in this movie was great. I noticed definitely a few Easter eggs in the movie. Pink elephants. Not trying to spoil it. Kids flying. I'll stop right there. But there's definitely a lot of Easter eggs. So if you're interested, if you're not sure if you want to go see it, go check it out. And if you do, let me know what you think. If you've seen it already, then definitely let me know what you think. But when I grade my movies, I give it a letter grade. As a teacher, it makes a lot of sense. And for me, an A or a B is considered fresh. A C or a D is not. And an F, so far I've only seen one movie in the last few years that deserves that F. Independence Day 2 was very close. Very close. But the only movie I've seen recently that deserved an F was Transformers: The Last Night. I hate that movie. And those of you that know me, you know I hate that movie. That's been my only F so far. I'm giving Dumbo a B minus. There it is, B minus. All right, well, thanks again for checking out my video. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think. And as always, adios.